I would say the only thing that hurts about Texas not being back is the fact that Georgia and Michigan decided to have great games. So,
man, hey, listen. So yeah, let's get to the actual number one team in the country, and I will do my best to explain why.
okay.
So a 52-10 win over Minnesota.
Damn, that's what the score ended up being?
52-10 was the final.
I turned it off.
First of all, in the second half of that game, and really most second halves of this year, but in the second half of that game, it was absolute strangulation. I think they had 37 total yards, and none of that was passing. They didn't have a single yard passing in the entire second half. They didn't score a point. They rushed for only 37 yards or something like that. Any number of people got a sack. I think Derek Moore got a sack, and Mason Graham got one. Pick six by Will Johnson to kick off the game. Then just for fun, we're going to get another one in the second half with, our sophomore safety, Keon Sabb. Absolutely dominant performance on defense. There were a few lapses. Towards the end of the first half, they got a drive going where I felt like we were kind of playing off for some reason. And we got scored on. So, that happens. And that is something that I would like to clean up. It seems to happen like once a game where a team is able to put a scripted drive together on us and they're able to move the ball. So that's telling me that there's something on film that they know that they can hit against us. And if they just put the right sequence of plays together, they'll be able to score. I don't want to get down the road to an elite team and that be the case. So whatever it is that they're able to put together these quick 2-minute drives at the end of halves, whether that be in the fourth quarter with the backups or in the second quarter with the starters, is something, because it seems to happen at least once a game. Now, Jesse Minter is the, as Johnny would say, the you get nothing defensive coordinator in the second half. He's really good with adjustments. So whatever, even the little bit of running game that Minnesota had going in the first half with Zach Evans, done in the second half. Done. Nothing. We're going to slide our 3 into a 6 technique and we're going to play you like that. Done. It's over. Kelly Kakmanis, you got something for us? No? Bet. 52-10. That's defensively. Offensively, another great outing from JJ, man. I love the fact that they are allowing him to use his legs, because it just takes the offense to it's unguardable in my opinion. Cause here's what you're faced with. You have one of the most dominating run offensive lines in the country. So you have to commit something to the box. Right? You have to. Not to mention you have one of the most dangerous backfields with Blake Corum and now Khalil Mullins, who's come out of nowhere looking like Baby Haskins.
Yeah, but you guys still aren't really utilizing it.
I mean, he's getting more carries than Donovan Edwards right now. He is,
but
he's getting more carries than Donovan Edwards, which I don't mind, because they're utilizing him in the passing game, and when he is getting his runs, he's going north and south. I know it's going to happen for Donovan. I'm confident in Donovan. Donovan's a better running back than Khalil Mullins. Khalil Mullins is just having more success right now. When it happens for Donovan, he will remind everyone why he's Donovan Edwards. Is he going to the league this year? I don't think so. But that bodes well for us. That means we get another year of Donovan Edwards. Right? That means he gets another year to develop. He going to keep making money. He making all the NIL money he can spend right now. He's fine. He just had to take a step back this season and reassess. I like the fact that there are other running backs on the roster, so it doesn't take a drop off though.
Yeah, if you guys don't make it all the way, JJ's coming back and Donovan's coming back.
I think Donovan probably comes back regardless. He's not going to have the production of a first round back, and that's what he believes he is. So if you're going to have to come back next year and prove it. Yeah,
running back in the country.
So you're going to have to come back and prove that shit. Here's the thing though. I would much rather have Donovan Edwards than I would Travion Henderson right now. You know why? Because once again, Travion Henderson is in his favorite spot on the football field, which is the injury tent.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Once again, even when he's having a season where he's trying to convince people that I'm RB1. No, you're not. Tripp Swimmer 1. Tripp's RB1. And it's no more clear as to why that is the case than this week. For whatever struggles that they had with the offensive line, Tripp toted the rock best as he could. And was there to take the shots, to deal with the leakage in the offense, deal with the guys in the backfield. He was there, running north to south. Travion was in street clothes. End of story. So if I'm tasked with having a talented speed back who's on the sidelines constantly every year, or one who's struggling to get his production going and has more years of eligibility, I'm taking that. I would take the problem that we have with Donovan Edwards right now, 10 times out of 10. Because I know eventually he's going to pop. Eventually, he's going to get in the open field, and y'all just not going to catch him. It's just, it is who he is. It will happen. But right now, we don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we don't need it. I heard somebody say something last night. I think it was Sam Webb. Michigan has the most diverse running game in the country. When you add in the fact that J.J. McCarthy in the QB run, absolutely. We can run inside. We can run outside. We can run read. We can run RPO now. They have the most diverse running game in the country with the most efficient quarterback in the game. Michigan is the number one team in the country right now. There isn't a weakness. We have mismatches inside with Colston Love and AJ Barner. So get your safeties ready. Oh, you want us to throw outside? Well, Roman Wilson is up along the tops in touchdowns in the country. Are you going to force us to run the ball? Cool. We've got a multitude of running backs and a physical offensive line. You're going to try and make our quarterback beat you? Cool. I mean, he's just has one of the highest completion percentage and the number one QBR in the country. So how do you want it? Truly, how do you want it? We got 200 yards of passing. We got 200 yards rushing. How do you want it? How would you like it served up this weekend? And they played like that every single week of the season, including Bowling Green, where JJ had a shit game, and we still dominated.
So last year, I am on record for saying that Georgia had played nobody, and therefore, when it came to us, we were going to hit them in the mouth like they've never seen before. We came really close to doing it. This year is a little different for Michigan in the fact that although they haven't played anybody, they have mostly dominated every team that they've at least played.
And everybody can't say that. Georgia looked like, and we'll talk about this when we go around the country here in a little bit, but Georgia cannot say that they dominated the way that they did Saturday every single week that college football has been played this year.
Hell, the last week they struggled against Auburn. They struggled to get a win in Auburn.
They struggled against UT Martin.
Yeah, that they did.
So, and I'm not saying that means Georgia is far behind Michigan or they're not the same caliber team. Georgia is right there at the top, and if you had them at number one, I couldn't do much more than what I did to argue for Michigan. Right? You'd have some valid points on your side. I think if we cut off the argument at the beginning of this season and just move forward, though, the argument is much, much better for Michigan than it is for Georgia, because a lot of what you are basing your Georgia still number one take on is the fact that they've won the last two national championships. And you cannot unforget that, and I understand it. Mm-hmm. Right? They deserve a little bit of benefit of the doubt. I am just saying, if we start and end the conversation with what we have seen from the last 6 weeks and the last 6 weeks only, it's Michigan. It's not close. It just is.
With that being said, I would agree that Michigan is hands down the best team right now. I still don't have a team that, if I was being completely unbiased, I still don't have a team that's like for sure that's the team that's going to win the playoffs.
What would you need to see for? And I'm not saying that Michigan
I would only need to see Michigan play a Penn State.
Because here's my problem with that assertion, right? We have to play something. We have to play somebody. Mm-hmm. I watched Florida State beat Clemson. Mm-hmm. That's a somebody, right? then I watched them struggle with Virginia Tech
and Boston College.
In
fact, I would argue that they beat LSU and struggled against Clemson, Boston College, and
I watched Duke beat Clemson and then lose shitting down their leg to Notre Dame.
You've seen Notre Dame lose.
I've seen Notre Dame play Ohio State close and then now lose 2 games.
Yeah.
Right? So the teams that have quote unquote played somebody, Florida State and LSU.
Texas.
Right? I mean, Texas, Alabama. So I'm just saying. There are better wins in college football, sure. There aren't better teams. There aren't better teams.
I'm not even. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. But like I said, I will want to see them play that tough November that they have.
Sure.
Before deciding, oh yeah, they are that team.
That's them. Okay, fine. Let's get through our streak of Maryland, Penn State, Ohio State, and then we'll just prove it. But my point is, if we're ranking teams, are we talking teams? Yeah, no. The guys up north have it this week for sure. If you're ranking a number 1 team in the country, it's got to be Michigan. Has to be.